The air crackled with anticipation as billions of human eyes turned toward the grand central hall of the Sol Empire. It was a day that would be etched into the annals of human history, the dawn of a new era. Karin Drell stood at the podium, her gaze sweeping over the vast audience of officials, military leaders, citizens, and distant planetary representatives, all gathered for this pivotal moment. Behind her, holographic projections of humanity's greatest achievements floated in the air. The first colony on Mars, the terraforming of Venus, the construction of massive orbital cities around Jupiter's moons, and the latest addition to humanity's legacy, a fleet of starships capable of traversing the galaxy faster than light. This was no ordinary ceremony. This was the coronation of a leader whose influence would shape the future of the entire human race. Karin had been elected as the High Executor of the newly unified Sol Empire, a government that now ruled all the rocky planets of the solar system and beyond. But this was not merely about power, it was about humanity's survival. The galaxy had become a battleground of civilizations, with thousands of alien species vying for control, and only the strongest would survive. Karin stood tall, her presence commanding and powerful. Clad in her dark, ceremonial armor, adorned with the insignia of the Sol Empire, she looked every bit the ruler that she had become. Her features were sharp, her eyes unwavering as she prepared to address the gathered masses. The weight of her new title pressed down on her shoulders, but she bore it with the grace and strength of someone who had faced adversity her entire life. A wave of silence fell over the hall as the time for her speech approached. The low hum of planetary feeds and distant stars seemed to fade into the background, leaving only the palpable tension of expectation. "I stand before you today," Karin began, her voice strong, "not as a conqueror but as a guardian of our future. The Sol Empire was not forged out of desire for domination but out of necessity. We are faced with a galaxy filled with species who see us as lesser beings, who look down upon humanity as if we are beneath them, and yet time and again we have proven that we will not be dismissed. We will not be underestimated." Her words echoed across the hall, transmitted in real time to every corner of human-controlled space. On Earth, Mars, Venus, and even the outposts on the moons of Saturn, people watched with bated breath. This was the moment that marked the official rise of the Sol Empire, the beginning of a new chapter in humanity's journey. A journey not just of exploration, but of conquest. "We have unified our system under one banner," she continued, her voice growing more resolute with each passing moment. "The Sol Empire is the beacon of hope for our species. From the cold plains of Mars to the cities orbiting Titan, we have shown that humanity, despite its challenges, can stand united. But unity alone is not enough. To survive in this galaxy, we must be strong. We must expand. We must take what is ours." Her words carried with them a sense of inevitability. Humanity, after all, had never been content to remain confined to a single planet. The drive to explore, to conquer new frontiers had been written into their DNA. It was the same drive that had led their ancestors to cross oceans, to reach for the stars, and now, to look beyond the solar system to the countless worlds that lay ahead. Karin paused, allowing the weight of her next words to settle over the audience like a heavy cloud. "Make no mistake, there are those who will resist us, species who will fight against us. But I tell you this, we will not falter. We will not hesitate. The galaxy will know the strength of humanity, and it will know it soon." The hall erupted into applause, the sound reverberating through the massive structure. Karin remained motionless, her face a mask of determination, though inside her mind raced with the complexities of the mission ahead. She had no illusions about the path that lay before them. The galaxy was full of threats, species with technology far beyond what humanity had achieved, and governments that had ruled for eons. But where others saw obstacles, she saw opportunities. In her heart, there was a deep-seated anger, a motivation that went beyond politics or even survival. The memory of her family's death burned inside her like a flame that refused to be extinguished. As a child, she had watched as an alien race, indifferent to human lives, had disintegrated her parents before her very eyes. Raised by her grandparents, who harbored a deep hatred for alien species, she had learned that peace was not something to be assumed. It had to be taken. That moment had shaped her entire life, pushing her toward leadership, guiding her toward a vision of humanity where they would never again be at the mercy of another race. Her drive to expand the SOL empire was not just political, it was personal. Behind her, the vast holographic displays shifted, revealing the fleet of warships that would serve as humanity's vanguard. Massive battleships equipped with nuclear missiles and plasma-based energy weapons, smaller frigates designed for quick strikes, and the shining jewel of the SOL fleet, the Liberator, a starship capable of unleashing devastating firepower on any who opposed humanity's advance. Karin turned, gesturing toward the image of the fleet. This is our strength. These ships, these warriors will carry humanity into the stars. They will ensure our survival. But know this, while we prepare for war, we also prepare for peace. There are species out there who will welcome us as allies, who will recognize the strength and unity of the Sol Empire. To them we will offer a hand of friendship. But to those who stand in our way, we will offer only fire. The applause that followed was thunderous, shaking the very foundations of the hall. Karin stood in its center, unmoving, her eyes fixed on the future. She could see it clearly now. A galaxy united under the banner of the SOL Empire. Humanity stretching across the stars, unstoppable, unchallenged. This was the dawn of a new age. As the applause faded, Karin allowed herself a moment of silence, her thoughts drifting to Marcus Niles, her closest confidant and friend. Though he was not standing by her side during this speech, she knew that he was somewhere in the crowd, watching, waiting for the challenges ahead. He had always been the voice of reason in her life, the one who urged diplomacy when she leaned toward aggression. But even Marcus knew that this moment, this dawn, was different. The galaxy was watching, and humanity would not be found wanting. Karin raised her hand, signaling the end of her speech. To the Sol Empire, she declared, her voice strong, resolute. To humanity's future. The words were met with a final wave of applause, and with that, the era of the SOL Empire had begun. Karin Drell stood at the podium, her eyes scanning the sea of expectant faces in front of her. The skyline of New Tokyo gleamed with the brilliance of solar energy towers, a symbol of humanity's achievements over the centuries. This was her moment. Today marked the beginning of her reign as High Executor of the Sol Empire, a title held by only a handful of leaders in Earth's history. Her voice, measured but firm, echoed through the plaza. Humanity has endured the struggles of a fractured Earth, survived the trials of interplanetary colonization, and now stands united. But the universe is not yet safe for us. To ensure the survival of our people, we must expand, assimilate, and bring peace to the galaxy through unity. Her words flowed seamlessly, but behind the poised exterior, Karin's thoughts drifted to a moment burned into her memory, the disintegration of her family at the hands of an alien race. She had been just a child, helpless as alien technology vaporized her parents, her siblings, raised by her grandparents, who harbored a deep hatred for all non-human races. Karin had inherited that hatred. At first it was all-consuming, but over time she came to understand the necessity of unity, through force if needed. Alien races would never stop preying on humanity unless they were brought under control. We will bring peace, Karin concluded, but on our terms. In the crowd, Marcus Niles watched with a mixture of pride and concern. He had known Karin since they were children, and though they had taken different paths, him as a diplomat, her as a soldier, he understood the pain that drove her. But something about the speech unsettled him. There was an edge to Karin's words, a steely determination that spoke of conquest rather than peace. The ceremony ended with applause, but as Marcus approached Karin, he knew this conversation wasn't over.